Hare Krishna. Thank you for joining today's reading. Continuation of Srila Sanatana Goswami's Hari-bhakti-vilāsa, part 3. And before starting the reading, we want to offer our prayers. Om Ajnana-timirandhasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Chakshurvunmiritam yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavamsya Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsya. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami iti namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Haripriye. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindubhya yevacha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Today's reading is Hari-bhakti-vilāsa, part 3. And Srila Sanatana Goswami is senior of the Six Goswamis of Vrindavan and follower of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and is a Vaishnava Acharya. And this book has been provided by the ISKCON Desire Tree in the PDF form in the ebooks, as per the desire of Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who is the Founder-Ācārya of International Society for Krishna Consciousness, to spread this Krishna consciousness for all the devotees. And we thank them. We thank the ISKCON Desire Tree for making this available for all of us to be able to read it online. So this is the part 3. And part 1 and part 2 are available on the channel, on our channel. Ganga Godavari Deva Nadyo Mukti Pradastuya Nivasanti Satirthasta Salagrama Silajale Koti Tirtha Sahasraistu Sevitai Kim Prayojanam Tirtham Yadi Bhavet Punyam Salagrama Silodbhavam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 3:293 to 94 from the Padma Purana. The water which washes Salagram Sila includes the water from the Ganga, Godavari, Reva, and other liberating rivers. If this bath water from the Salagram Sila is available, then there is no need for thousands of other places of pilgrimage. Ganga Prayaga Gaya Naimisha Pushkarini Punyani Yani Kuru Jangalayu Munani Jangalaya Munani Kalena Tirtha Salilani Punanti Papam Padodakam Bhagavata Prapunati Yat Sadhyaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 3:301 from the Nrsimha Purana. Ganga, Prayaga, Gaya, Naimisha, Pushkara, Kurukshetra, together with other places of pilgrimage, remove the sins of a person after a long connection with them. But water which has washed the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead at once purifies a person. Yonyatra kurite yatnam dharma karye dvijottamaha vihaya sanjha pranatim sayati narakaitam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 3:315 from Manusmriti. Any twice-born Brahmana who does not perform the Gayatri Mantra properly and engages in other activities and vows goes to hell for 1 billion years. This is regarding Vilasa number 4. Krishnalayam yo kurite pratakahasya sobhitam sadaiva tasya loketu vasastasya nacha anyataha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 450. Quoted from the Brihannaradaya Purana. In Dwaraka Mahatmya it is stated, any person who decorates the temple of Lord Hari with a nice flag lives eternally in his, Lord Hari's, abode. He does not live anywhere else besides there. Suvarna Rupya Sankhashma Sukti Ratnamayanicha Kamshaya Tamra Raityami Trapushi Samayanicha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 459, quoted from the Brahma Purana. Gold, silver, conch shell, stone, pearls, quartz, bell metal, iron, copper, brass, aluminum, and lead utensils are purified by washing them with water. Sutika Sava Vinmutra, Rajasvala Hatanicha, Praksheptavyani Tanyagnau, Yachayavat Sahedapi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 467 from the Brahma Purana. If the utensils are touched by a woman who has just given a birth to a child, touched a dead body, who has evacuated, who has urinated, or who is passing through menstruation, they can only be purified by heating it over a flame. Madhyair Motra Purushairva Saleshma Puyastidhisti Vanaihi Puyastidhistivi Vanaihi Samprustam Naiva Sudhyeta Punapakena Murmayam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 470 from Manusmriti. If an earthen pot is touched with wine, urine, stool, mucus, pus, or the saliva of a person, even if it is heated over flame, it cannot be purified. Santasya vanhi taptena tadhaiva atapa varina sarira suddhir vigneya natu snana phalam bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4:119. Any person who takes bath with hot water, which is heated with fire or with sunlight, his body certainly becomes cleansed, but he does not get the result of taking a bath. Purnamasyam tadhadarshe yasnayat usnavarina sagohacha kritam papam prapnoti ihana samshayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4:122 by Swayambhava Manu. Any person who takes a hot bath on a full moon day and new moon day becomes implicated with the sin of killing a cow in this world. Of this there is no doubt. Snana sati tare naiva vasasambhasi gatrataha sammajya vasasi dadhyat paridhana uttariyake. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4:144 Padma Purana. Whatever cloth one has used while taking bath, after taking bath, the same cloth cannot be used to dry the body. Another piece of cloth should be used to dry the body. Afterwards, garments can be used to cover the body. Nagno malina vastrasyat, nagnasya ardhapatasprutaha, nagno dviguna vastraha, syat nagno raktapatastadha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4:147 spoken by Atri Muni. Anyone who is wearing dirty clothes is equal to a nude man. Ordinarily, if the cloth is torn into half, the person wearing it is said to be naked as well. Any person who is wearing double clothes is also said to be nude. Anybody wearing red-colored clothes is said to be nude. Taucham sahasra romanam vayu agni arka indu rashmibhihi retas prustham savas prustham avikam naiva dushyati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.153, spoken by Angera Muni. Woolen clothes can be purified by air, fire, and sunlight and moonlight. A blanket made from sheep wool, even if they are touched by a menstruating lady or a dead body, they do not become contaminated. Dharayet vasasi suddhe paridhana uttariyake anichanna sudeshe sukle achamet pita samsthitaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.161, spoken by Angera Rishi. One should wear a chadar which is not torn, which is very beautiful, pure, clean, and bright. After putting on nice garments, one should sit on a seat and take achamana. Tato dvadashabhik kuryan namabhik keshava adibhihi dvadasha angeshu vidhivat vodha pundrani vaishnavaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.169, from the Brahma Purana, spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thereafter, a Vaishnava should put 12 tilaka marks on his body, chanting the names of Keshava Namaha all over his bodily limbs. Sacred clay should be used for tilak, and the tilaka marks should be shooting upwards. In this regard, Sanatana Goswami gives a nice commentary, saying that this sacred tilaka should begin saying Keshavaya Namaha from the forehead. The length of this tilaka should be approximately 8 inches. But on other parts of the body, the size of the tilaka is said to be equal to the size of a lamp's flame. And this should be used according to one sampradaya or Vaishnava tradition. A verse was on the tape but not written, Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.170-173, Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda. Bodha pundre dripundram ya kurite naradhamaha bhankva vishnu graham pundram sayati narakam dhruvam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.181, from the Padma Purana, spoken by Sri Narada Rishi. Any person who puts upward sacred tilaka on his forehead and above that puts on Tripundra, 3 lines going north to south, he attains the sin of breaking a temple of Lord Vishnu and thus goes to hell without a doubt. Yasya vortha pundram drishyeta lalateno narasyahi taddarshanam na kartavyam drishtva surya nirikshayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.186, quoted from Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda, in Kartik Mahatmya section. Any person who does not have a Vaishnava tilak, which shoots upwards like a flame, to see his face is not auspicious. If suddenly, due to destiny, one sees his face, he should purify himself by seeing the sun. Bodha punte nakurvita Vaishnavanam tripundrakam Krita tripundra matsyasya kriyana pretaye harehe. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.189, Kartik Mahatmya. A Vaishnava should not use tripundra, the 3 lines which go from north to south. Instead of Vaishnava tilaka, which shoots upwards like a flame on his body. Anyone who puts this tripundra, the 3 lines going north to south, his services are not for pleasing Lord Sri Hari. Uttapundram murda saumyam lalate yasya dushyate sachandalopi suddhatrma pujyayeva na samshayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.193, from the Padma Purana. If anybody wears a beautiful Vaishnava clay tilak mark which shoots upwards, if such a person is seen, if he is born in a dog-eater's family, even if he is born in a dog-eater's family, he is considered pure and is undoubtedly a worshipable person as well. Urtha puntrasya madhye tu vishale sumanohare Lakshmiya Sardham Samasino Devadevo Janardhana. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.194, from the Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda, conversation between Lord Shiva and Parvati Devi. In that beautifully arranged Vaishnava tilak mark, which shoots upwards like a flame, which has a broad space between in which the Lord of all lords, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Lord Narayana, resides with his consort, Lakshmi Devi. Urdhapundradharo marchyo gruhe yasya annamashnute tada vinshat kulam tasya narakat uddharamyaham. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.203, Brahmanda Purana, spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If a Vaishnava who wears the sacred tilaka mark, which goes upward like a flame, eats in anyone's house some grains, I, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, 20 previous generations from their suffering in hellish planets. Looks like I think it delivers. The Supreme Lord delivers 20 previous generations from their suffering. Vikshadarshe jale vapi yo vidadhyat prayatnataha vardhapundram mahabhaga sayati paramam gatim. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.204, Brahmanda Purana. This is spoken by the Supreme Lord about how to put a tilak mark on one's forehead. Any person who sees his reflection within a mirror or in steady water and carefully decorates his forehead with Vaishnava tilak, which shoots upwards like the flame of a lamp, goes back to Godhead. Dashangula pramanantu uttamottama uchyate Navangulam machamam syad astangula matahparam eter anguli bhedaistu karayen na nakhais prushet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.205-206, quoted from the Brahma Purana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said about the size of the tilaka. If any person's tilak is as long as 10 fingers, it is said to be the best. The second best is that which is the length of 9 fingers. And the lowest kind of tilak is when it is 8 fingers long on one's forehead. In this way, there are differences of ways to apply the Vaishnava tilak, which goes upwards like a flame, but one should never touch or make his tilak with the fingernail. Arabhya nasikamulam lalatantam likhe nrulam Nasikayastra yobhaga nasamulam prachakshate samarabhya bhruvor mulam antaralam prakalpayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.211-212, Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda. One should begin his tilak from the root of his nose to the end of the forehead. From the beginning of the forehead until the end of the forehead. One should put a sacred clay mark with a space in it. The third portion of the nose is said to be the root of the nose, from between the eyebrows until the end of the forehead. One should leave a space within his tilak. Nirantaralam yakkuryat vodhapundram dvijadhamaha hi tatra sthitam vishnum lakshmin chaiva yapohati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.213. Certainly, Lakshmi and Narayana leave the tilaka of that lowest twice-born person who puts on Vaishnava tilak, which goes upwards like the flame of a lamp without keeping a space within it, the tilak. Vama parshve sthito brahma dakshine tu sadasiva mache vishnum vijaniyat tasmat mancham na lepayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.217, Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda. On the left side of the Vaishnava tilak, Lord Brahma resides. And on the right side, Sadashiva, the original Lord Shiva, resides. And within the space of the tilak, Lord Hari stays eternally. Therefore, one should not apply tilak without leaving a space in the middle. Anamika kamadokta machama ayushkari bhavet angustaf pushtidav proktas tajjani moksha sadhani. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.221 from Smriti. The outcome of applying tilak with the use of different fingers. One who uses the ring finger to apply tilak achieves his desired goal of life. One who uses the middle finger increases his duration of life. One who uses his thumb to apply his tilak achieves nice nourishment. Anyone who uses the little finger achieves liberation. Gopi Chandana Khandam yo dadati hi Vaishnavaye. Kulam ekottaram tena sambhavet taritam satam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-28 by Narada Muni in the Padma Purana. Anyone who gives a piece of Gopi Chandan, sacred clay, to a Vaishnava, he delivers or purifies 108 ancestors of his dynasty. Sri Khande Kvasa Amodaha Swaro Varnakva Tadrusha Tat Pavitriyam Vavaitirthe Sri Gopi Chandane Yadha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-31 from Skanda Purana, Kasi Khanda section spoken by Yamaraj. In which Chandana can such a nice sweet fragrance be found as is found in Gopi Chandan, sacred clay? Where is that color equal to the color of Gopi Chandan? Where is that heavenly feeling which is felt by one using Gopi Chandan? Where is that thing which is more purifying than Gopi Chandan? Grihana Pidanti Narakshasam Ganaha Yakshak Pisacha Varaga Bhutadanamaha Lalatpatte Khaga Gopi Chandanam Santisthate Yasya Hare Prasadataha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-38 from Garuda Purana spoken by Narada Muni. O King of the birds, Garuda, if Gopi Chandan is marked on anyone's forehead by the mercy of the Supreme Lord, no planets, sun, moon, Mars, etc., yakshas, semi-demigods, pisacha, ghosts and devils, snakes and demons can harm him if he is wearing Gopi Chandan on his forehead. Duta srunatu yadbhalam Gopi Chandana lanchitam jwaladindhana vatsopi tejodure prayatnataha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-40. Skanda Purana, Kasi Khanda, spoken by Yamaraj. Yamaraja said, O messengers, listen to me. Anyone whose forehead has the mark of Gopi Chandan, please carefully leave them alone, as one stays away from a red-hot fire. Tulasi mritika pundram lalate yasya drishyate deham na sparshati papam kriyamanastu narada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-43, Skanda Purana, Kasi Khanda. Brahma said, O Narada, whoever's forehead is decorated with nice Vaishnava tilak, with clay obtained from Tulasi's root, even if he commits sin, the sin is unable to touch his body. Annivejjaiva haraye tulasi kasta sambhavam malam paschat swayam dhatte savai bhagavatottamaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-309, quoted from the Skanda Purana. Any person who wears a garland of tulasi wood after placing it on the neck of Lord Hari, he is certainly the greatest devotee. Harayet narpayed yastu tulasi kasta sambhavam malam dhatte swayam mudha sayati narakam dhruvam. Harayed narpayed yastu tulasi kasta sambhavam malam dhatte swayam mudha sayati narakam dhruvam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-310, Skanda Purana. That foolish person who, after making a nice garland from tulasi wood, does not offer it to the Supreme Lord Hari, but instead wears it himself, he certainly goes to the hellish planets. Nirmalya tulasi mala yukto yaschyaryed harim yat karoti tat sarvam ananta paladam bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4-319 from Agastya Samhita. Anyone who wears a tulasi garland which has been offered to Lord Hari, then whatever he does to worship him will give him unlimited results. Tulasi Tulasi Kastamalancha Kantastham Vahate tu Yaha Api Asau Kopi Anacharo Mame Vaitina Samshaya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 322 from Vishnu Dharmottara by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person who wears a garland of tulasi wood around his neck, even if he is impure or does not have a good character, he achieves liberation. Of this, there is no doubt. Tulasi Kastamalantu Pretarajasya Dutakaha Društva Nashyanti Durena Vatodhutam Yathadalam Tulasi Kasta Malabhir Bhushito Brahmate Yadi Duswapnam Dunnimittangcha Nabhayam Shastrajam Kwachit. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 337, 338, quoted from the Garuda Purana, spoken by Markandeya Muni. If the messengers of Yamaraj sees a person who is wearing a garland or necklace of tulasi wood around his neck, they run away from him. As a leaf is blown by the wind. If anybody wanders about wearing a necklace of tulasi wood around his neck, he becomes free from all bad dreams, dangerous situations, and all kinds and fear from weapons. Riktapanir napashyeta rajanam bhishajam gurum na upayanakara putram sishyam dhrucham nirikshayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 343 from Smriti Maharnava. One should not visit a king, a spiritual master, or a doctor with empty hands. One should not welcome his own son, his disciple, or a servant with a gift. Prathamantu Gurun Puja Tataschaiva Mamarchanam Kurvan Siddham Abapnoti Kya Anyatha Nishphalam Bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 344 from Smriti Maharnava, spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. If anyone worships his spiritual master first and then me, he certainly achieves perfection. Otherwise, his worship remains fruitless. Yasya deve para bhaktir tadha deve tadha gurau tasyaite hitakarthaha prakashante mahatmanaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 346 stated in the Shrutis Svetashvatar Upanishad. Only unto those great souls who have implicit faith in both the Lord and the spiritual master are all the imports of Vedic knowledge automatically revealed. Acharya mama vijaniyan navamanyeta karhichit namarcha buddhyasuyeta sarvadeva mayo guruhu. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 347 Śrīmad Bhagavatam 11, 17, 27. One should know the Acharya as myself and never disrespect him in any way. One should not envy him, thinking him an ordinary man, for he is the representative of all the demigods. Yasya sakshat bhagavati gnana deepa prade gurau marcha saddhi sutam tasya sarvam kunjara sauchavat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 349 Śrīmad Bhagavatam 7th Canto, Chapter 15, Text 26. The spiritual master should be considered to be directly the Supreme Lord, because he gives transcendental knowledge for enlightenment. Consequently, for one who maintains the material conception that the spiritual master is an ordinary human being, everything is frustrated. His enlightenment and his Vedic studies and knowledge are like the bathing of an elephant. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Gurur Eva Param Brahma, Tasmat Sampujayet Sada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 352, quoted from Manusmriti. The spiritual master is equal to Lord Brahma. He is equal to Lord Shiva. He is equal to the Supreme Brahma. Therefore, one should worship his own spiritual master very carefully at all times. Guru Yasya Bhavet Tustas Tasya Tusto Hariswayam Guru Samasane Naiva Nachaiva Ucha Asane Vaset. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4, 353 Vamana Kalpa, spoken by Brahma. If the spiritual master is pleased upon someone, Lord Hari himself is pleased with him. One should not sit on the spiritual master's seat or an equal or higher seat than him. Haravrushte gurustrata, guravrushte nakasyana, tasmat sarva prayatnena, gurumeva prasadayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.360, quoted from the Aditya Purana. If Lord Hari is displeased with someone, the spiritual master can protect him. But if the spiritual master becomes unhappy with someone, there is no shelter for him. Therefore, one should carefully endeavor to properly please one's spiritual master. Pratipajya gurum tastu mohadvi pratipajyate sakalpa kotim narake pashyate purushadhamaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.365, quoted from the Brahma Vaivarta Purana. Any person who has once accepted a bona fide spiritual master and then, due to illusion, gives him up, that lowest of mankind then falls into hell to suffer for 10 million kalpas, 10,000 yugas. Avaishnava upadisthena mantrena nirayam vaje punascha vidhinas samyak grahayed Vaishnavad guroho. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.366, quoted from the Narada Pancharatra. If someone, due to some circumstance, is initiated by a non-Vaishnava spiritual master, he is destined to go to hell. He should again accept re-initiation from a Vaishnava spiritual master according to Vedic instructions. Srila Sanatana Goswami writes a commentary on this verse, stating either he is situated properly or he is situated improperly. From this quote, it should be understood that the spiritual master is never to be rejected. But if somebody has accepted a non-Vaishnava spiritual master, then according to scriptures, it is allowable that such a spiritual master be rejected, because such a spiritual master remains selfish while delivering the mantra. A real sadhu or a saintly person, Vaishnava, is not like that. He is very merciful upon a person to whom he is delivering the sacred mantra. Vaishnava generally means a twice-born person who knows the scriptures properly. Ye guru ajnam na kurvanti prapishtha purushadhama natesham naraka klesha nistaro munisattama. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.367, quoted from Agastya Samhita. O best of the sages, any person who avoids or disobeys the orders of the spiritual master, such a sinful person, the lowest of mankind, is taken to hell for suffering, and there is no deliverance for him. Adhikshipya gurum mohat purusham pravadantiye sukaratvam bhavetyeva tesham janma sateshvapi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 4.369, quoted from the Agastya Samhita. Those people, due to ignorance, who disrespect a spiritual master and think of him as an ordinary person, they all take their next 100 births as pigs. Tesham agama margena suddhirna srautavatmana. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5.5, quoted from Vishnu Yamala. In Kali Yuga, whatever Brahmanas take birth are equal to Sudras and are equally impure. According to scriptural injunctions, they are purified. But in Kali Yuga, they cannot be purified by chanting or learning Vedic mantras. Asina pragudagvar archayet sthirayantvadha sammukha. Asina pragudagvar archayet sthirayantvadha sammukha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5.20, quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 11.27.19. One should sit on a seat in front of the deity facing east or north to worship him. Vansat ahur daridratvam prasane yadhi sambhavam dharanyam dukha sambhutim daurbhagyam daravasane truna asane yashohanim pallave chitta vibhramam darbhasane vyadhinasham kambalam dukkhamochanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 25, 26, quoted from Narada Pancharatra. If one sits on a bamboo seat, he invites poverty. One who sits on a seat made from stone invites disease. If one sits on a seat made from clay, he invites distress. If one sits on a seat made of wood, he invites misfortune. If one sits on a seat made from straw, his fame is destroyed. If one sits on a seat made from leaves, it causes bewilderment. A seat made from kusha grass removes diseases, and a seat made out of wool removes all kinds of distress. Savarnam rajitam kansham yena diyate bhajanam tan sarvam samparityajya tamrantu mamarochite pavitranam pavitram yo mangalanam cha mangalam visuddhanam suchinchaiva tamram samsara mokshanam dikshitanam visuddhanam mama karma parayanaha sada tamrena kartavyam evam bhumi mama priyam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 356, 36, 37, quoted from the Varaha Purana. The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, the utensils made out of gold, silver, and bell metal, which are used for my worship, I reject them. I only like copper pots. Among all purified metals, copper is most purified. And among all auspicious utensils, the most auspicious and purified is copper. And it cuts the shackles of this material world if someone uses it for me. O Mother Earth, an initiated and purified person who is engaged in my worship, it is his duty to use copper pots for my worship because they are very pleasing to me. Kechicha tamrapatreshu gavyader yogadoshata tamra atiriktam icchanti madhuparkasya bhajanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5:38, quoted from the Varaha Purana. But gavya, etc., if put with a copper pot, is spoiled. Therefore, instead of copper pots for madhuparka, one should use other kinds of pots. Sanatana Goswami gives his commentary on this verse. He states that clarified butter mixed panchagavya, ghee, milk, yogurt, stool, and urine of a cow are panchamrita, milk, ghee, yogurt, honey, and sugar water. If they are put together in the copper pot, they are said to be destroyed. Furthermore, the Smriti Shastra says, Tamrapatre sthitam gavyam majjatulayam ghrutam vina. Madhyatulayam ghrutam vina. If Panchagavya or Madhuparka is put in a copper pot, it turns into wine, with the exception of ghee. This is the opinion of the authorities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead in the Boar incarnation directly stated, Dadhi sarpir madhu samam patre audumbare mama. One should offer me a mixture of yogurt, ghee, honey, etc. in a pot made of audumbara wood. Vritam dadhi tadha chaudram madhuparko vidhiyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5:49 from Vishnu Dharma. Madhuparka is a combination of ghee, honey, and yogurt. Seli daru mayi lauhi lepya lekhecha saikati manomayi manimayi pratima astvitha smruta chala achaleti dvitha Pratishtha, Jiva Mandiram, Udvasa Vahane Nashtaha, Sthirayam Uddhavarchane, Asthirayam Vikalpasyat, Standiletu Bhaved Dvayam, Snapanam tu Avilepyam Anyatra Parimarjanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 257, 258, 259, quoted from Srimad Bhagavatam 11:27, 12 to 14. Stone, wood, iron or metal, mud, picture, sand, mind, and jewels are the 8 ingredients that deities can be made from in this world. Therefore, there are 2 kinds of deities, movable and immovable, into which the Supreme Lord is called. O Uddhava, with both the movable and immovable forms, the Lord may be invited or sent away, but in the form of Salagram Sila, this principle is not applicable. Bathing of wooden or clay deities is done with a wet cloth. Otherwise, all deities are bathed with water. Gandakyasya ivadeshecha Gandakyasya ivadeshecha Salagrama Stalam Mahat Prasanam Tadbhavam Yat Tat Salagramam Idismrutam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5 to 96 from Gautamiya Tantra. Near Gandaki River, there is a big place called Salagram. The stones which appear in that place are called Salagram Sila. Snigdha Krishna, Pandaravya, Pita-nīla Tadhaivacha, Vakra Rukshacha Ruktacha, Mahasthula tu Lanchita, Kapila Dardura Bhagna, Bahuchakraika Chakrika, Bruhanmukhi Bruhat Chakra, Lagna Chakra Tadha Chakra Tava Punaha, Baddha Chakra Adhava Kachit, Bhagna Chakra tu Adhomukhi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 297, 298, quoted from Skanda Purana. There are 8 kinds of Salagram Silas available, such as oily ones, black ones, yellow ones, blue ones, crooked, dry ones, red ones, huge, without any marks, brown ones, in the shape of a frog, broken, with one or many disc marks, with many faces, a grand disc mark, with a broken disc, facing down, complete disc, half disc, etc. Khanditam Sputitam Bhagnam, Parshvabhinnam Vibheditam, Salagrama Samudbhutam, Shailam Doshavaham Nahi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5309 from Brahma Purana, spoken by the Supreme Lord. Even if the Salagram Sila is broken in half, or broken a little, or having a broken back, even in such a condition, Salagram Sila is free from fault and can be worshipped. Khanditam Trutitam Bhagnam, Salagrame Nadokshabhak, Istatu Yasya Murtihi, Satam Yatnena Pujayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 310, Skanda Purana, spoken by Lord Shiva. Broken, deformed, or slightly broken Salagram Shila can be worshipped. There is no fault in worshipping Salagram Shila in these conditions. Whatever form one appreciates, he should worship it very carefully. Kamai krodhai pralobhaischa, vyakto yatra naradhamaha, sopi yati harer lokam, Salagrama Silachanat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 370 from Padma Purana. Those people who are the lowest of mankind and who are controlled by lust, anger, and greed, they can be elevated to the abode of Lord Hari by worshipping Salagrama Sila. Diksha Vidhana Mantragnas Chakre Yo Balim Aharet Sayati Vaishnavam Dharmam Satyam Mayoditam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 374, Padma Purana. Anyone who has attained mantra Diksha initiation properly and is worshipping Salagram Shila, whatever he offers to Salagram Shila, he achieves the abode of Lord Vishnu. Of this, there is no doubt. I personally say this. Salagrama Shila Chakram Yodajat Danamuttamam Bhuchakram Tena Dattam Syat Samshailam Vanakananam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5382 Padma Purana. Giving charity of Salagram Shila is the best of all charities. Any person who has given this charity has achieved the result of performing all auspicious activities, and he has given charity of the whole earthly planet, decorated with forests, jungles, and mountains. Drustva pranamita yena snapita pujita tadha yajnakoti samam punyam gavam koti phalam bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5384 from Skanda Purana. Lord Shiva spoke to Skanda, his son, saying that any person who has seen Salagram Sila, paid obeisances to him, bathed and worshipped him, has achieved the result of performing 10 million sacrifices and giving 10 million cows in charity. Pujitoham nater marcher, namitoham nater naraha, nakrutam marchaloke salagrama shilarchanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5396 Skanda Purana. Lord Shiva speak to his son Skanda. In this mortal world, if anyone does not worship Salagram Shila, I do not at all accept any of their worship and obeisances. Yo dadati phalam Vishnu salagrama samudbhavam vipraya Vishnu bhaktaya tena ishtam bahubhir makhaihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5407 Skanda Purana. Any person who has donated a Salagram Shila to the devotee of Lord Vishnu, Vaishnava, or to a qualified pure Brahmana, he has achieved the results of performing unlimited sacrifices and austerities. Sadhanya Purusho Loke Safalam Tasya Jivitam Salagrama Shila Suddha Gruhe Yasya Cha Pujita. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5409 quoted from Skanda Purana. In any house, if a person worships Salagram Shila properly, those persons are glorified and their existence is successful in this world. Salagrama Shila Rupi Yatra Tisthati Keshava Navadhante Surastatra Bhuta Vetalaka Adayaha Salagrama Shila Yatra Tattirtham Tat Tapovanam Yataha Sanhitas Tatra Bhagavan Madhusudanaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 427, 428, quoted from the Brihanaradiya Purana. In any place, if Lord Keshava is situated there in the form of Salagram Shila, there neither demons nor ghosts nor devils can create any obstacles to that person or place. Any place where Salagram Shila is situated can be turned into a place of pilgrimage and a place for performing austerities, because the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vasudana, killer of the Madhu demon, personally resides there. Salagrama Shilayam Yo Mulyam Udghatayet Naraha Vikreta Cha Anumanta Cha Yap Pariksham Udirayet Sarvete Narakam Yanti Yavad Ahuta Samplavam Atah Samvarjayet Vipra Chakrasya Kraya Vikrayam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5, 436, 437 from Skanda Purana, spoken by Lord Shiva to his son Skanda. O Brahmana, under no circumstances should anyone ever buy or sell Salagram Shila. One should not even suggest a price to be paid for Salagram Shila. No one should find faults in him or explain some mistakes in him. All of these persons must go to the hellish planets and live there until the complete annihilation. Salagrama Shilayantu Pratishtha Naiva Vidyate Mahapujantu Krutwadau Pujayetam Tato Buddha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5:438, quoted from Skanda Purana. There is no installation process for Salagram Shila. The learned and purified souls have recommended a grand worship of him and then regular worship thereafter. Salagrama Shilayantu Sakshat Sri Krishna Sevanam Nityam Sanhitas Tatra Vasudevo Jagat Guruhu. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5:444, Padma Purana. The worship of Salagram Shila is the worship of Lord Hari directly. Jagat Guru, the spiritual master of the universe, Lord Vasudeva, eternally resides within Salagram Shila. Striyova Yadiva Sudra Brahmana Kshatriya Yaha Kshatriyadayaha Pujayitva Shila Chakra Labhante Shashvatam Padam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 5:452, Skanda Purana. Conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni. Worship of Salagram Shila can be done by women, Sudras, low caste, Brahmanas, twice born, Kshatriyas, administrators, etc. And they can all achieve the eternal abode of Lord Krishna perfectly. It seems Vilasa 6 is missing, so we're continuing with Vilasa 7 here. Paspair Aranya Sambhutais Tatha Nagara Sambhavaihi Aparyusita Nischidraihi Prokshitair Jantuvarjitaihi Atmarama Udbhairva Pi Putai Atmarama Udbhairvapi Putai Sampujayet Harim. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:3, Nishinga Purana. Whether flowers are grown in the forest, in the city, or within one's own house, whether they are picked from the tree, if they are fresh, not broken into pieces, and are washed and free from all kinds of germs and worms, such pure flowers should be used to worship the Supreme Lord Hari. Tanyeva Suprasasthani Kusumani Mahasura Yanishur Varna Yuktani Rasagandha Yutani Cha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:4, Vamana Puran, conversation between Bali Maharaj and Prahlad. O King of the demons, Prahlad Maharaj, to worship the Supreme Lord, one should use good quality, juicy and naturally fragrant flowers, Gumvir flowers. Malati Tulasi Padmamam Ketaki Manipushpakam Kadamba Kusumam Lakshmihi Kaustubham Keshava Priyam Kantakimyapi Deyani Suklani Surabhinicha Tatha Raktani Deyani Jalajani Dvijottama. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:21-22, Skanda Purana. Malati, white jasmine, Tulasi, lotus, Ketaki, wood apple, Manipushpa, and Kadamba flowers are very dear to Lord Sri Keshava, as dear as Lakshmi Devi and Kaustubha are dear to him. Yai kasid iha pushpa ischa jalajai sthalajairapi sampujya ketikair bhaktya Vishnu loke mahiyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:54, Skanda Purana. Conversation between Lord Shiva and his wife Uma. Whether flowers are grown in the water, lilies or lotus flowers, are grown on the land, and jasmine, roses, etc. If these fragrant flowers are used in the service of Lord Sri Hari, the person offering them will be able to attain the abode of Lord Hari and live there with full respect. Ritukala Udbhavai Pushpair Yorchiyed Rukmini Patim Sarvan Kaman Avapnoti Yan Divyan Yansya Manusham. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:55, Vishnu Rahasya. Conversation between Markandeya and Indrajumna. Any person, if he worships the dear Lord of Rukmini Devi with flowers, according to the season, all of his desires will be fulfilled in this world and in the next, the spiritual world. Varnanam tu yatha vipras, tirthanam jahnavi yatha, suranam tu yatha Vishnu, pushpanam malati tadha, malatyahi tadha devam, yochayet garudadhvajam, janma dukkha jara rogair, mukto sau muktim apnuyat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 777, 78, Skanda Purana. Conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada. As Brahmanas are considered to be topmost in the social order, and among the places of pilgrimage, the Ganges is said to be the topmost. Among the demigods, Lord Vishnu is the topmost. Similarly, among flowers, Malati, white jasmine, is the best. Any person who worships Lord Srihari, the rider of Garuda, becomes liberated from the repetition of birth and death. Pushpanaikena malatyaha pritirya keshavasya hi nasakrutu sahasrena bhavate narado bravit. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 782, Garuda Purana. Narad Muni said, the Supreme Lord becomes so happy by being offered just one malati, white jasmine flower, that he does not even become as happy by the performance of 1,000 sacrifices. Vishnur angat paribhrustam malati kusumam khaga yo dharayetya sirasi sarva yo dharayetya sirasi sarvadharma phalam labhet adatva keshave yastu samurdhna malatim vahet Sarana Khaga Sardula Sarvadharma Chuto Bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 788, 89, Garuda Purana. O best of the birds, any person who takes malati flowers, white jasmine, which have been offered to Lord Hari and places them on his head or other parts of the body, he attains the results of performing all kinds of meritorious activities. If any person takes a malati flower and without offering it to Lord Keshava, wears it on his own head, he becomes implicated with sins and fallen from all meritorious activities. Malati Malaya Vishnu Pujito Yana Kartike Papaksharakpratam Malam Hathat Saurif Pramadjati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 792, Skanda Purana. Conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni. In the month of Kartik, October, November, any person, if he worships Lord Vishnu with malati, white jasmine flowers, whatever sinful activities are registered for him by Yamaraj, death personified, are removed. Kamalai Kamalakantaha Pujitas Kartiketu Yai Kamala Anugatesham Janmantara Sateshu Api. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7102, Padma Purana, Uttarakhanda. Any person who offers lotus flowers to Lord Narayana, the dearest personality of Lakshmi Devi, in the month of Kartik, Lakshmi Devi resides with him for hundreds of births. Kadamba Kusmair Hurjair Archayanti Janardhanam Tesham Yamalayo Naiva Na Jayante Kuyonishu Na Tadha Ketaki Pushpair Malati Kusmair Nahi Tosham Yati Deveshaha Kadamba Kusmair Yadha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7, 111, 112, Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni. Any person, if he worships Lord Janardana, does not go to suffer in the place of Yamaraj, hell, and does not fall into the lower species in the next life. The Supreme Lord becomes so happy by seeing Kadamba flowers that he does not even feel satisfied being worshipped with the Ketaki, wood apple flowers, or Malati, white jasmine. Karnikara Mayaih Pushpaih Kanthai Kanaka Suprabhaihi Archayitva Achutam Loke Tasya Loke Mahiyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:151 Vishnu Purana. If someone worships the Supreme Infallible Lord Hari with the beautiful fresh yellow Karnikara flowers, he remains with full respect in his eternal abode. Type the verse and translates for Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th Canto, 21 chapters, text 5. Varhapidam Natavara Vapu Karnayo Karnikaram Varshakale tu Devesham Kusumais Champaka Udbhavaihi Yochayanti Narabhakcha Samsarena Punarchatihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:157 Skanda Purana, conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni. Any person who worships the Supreme Lord in the rainy season with the champaka flower, a fragrant white or greenish flower, he does not take another birth in this material world with a material body. Pushpajatishu sarvasu savarnam pushpam uttamam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:194 Skanda Purana. Conversation between Lord Shiva and Uma, his wife. Among all kinds of fragrant flowers, the best flower is considered to be yellow-colored flowers, which are the Lord's favorite. Nasushkai pujayet Vishnum kusumair na mahigataihi na abhishir na dalaih klishtair na chaiva asuvikasitaihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:205 from Vishnu Rahasya. A whitish fragrant flower, if it falls on the ground, touches the ground, one should not worship Lord Sri Vishnu with it. Any flower whose petals are not in good condition, or it has been made to blossom, such flower should not be used to worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Na shirna dalai slishtair, na asubhair, na vikasibhihi, puti gandha ugra gandhini, amla gandhini vajjayet, kita kosha vipadhani, sirna paryusitanisha, bhagna patrancha nagrahyam, krumidistam nacha aharet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:210-11 Skanda Purana, conversation between Brahma and Narada. Any flowers whose petals have become rotten and decayed, and whose petals are sticking together, the flowers which are impure or unblossomed, one should not use them for worshipping the Lord. Those flowers in which the fragrance has been created from an external source, which are foul-smelling, pungent-smelling, sour-smelling, one should not offer these flowers. Any flowers which have worms inside are considered contaminated, and such rotten flowers with broken petals should not be picked. Na paryusita doshosti jalaja utpala champakaihi tulas agastya okule vilve ganga jale tatha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:213 Gnanamala. The lotus flower born in the water, champaka, yellow fragrant flower, tulasi, agastya flower and bakula flowers, bilvapaka and Ganges water, these do not become contaminated, stale, even if they are kept for a long time. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:214 Vishnu Dharmottara. Nagruhe karavirasthaihi kusumair achayed harim patitair kusumair amlanaihi swashairva jantu dushitaihi agatair anga sansprushtair dushitaischaiva na archayet. One should not worship Lord Hari with either a flower from the Karavira tree, whether it is grown in the house or outside, Flowers which have fallen on the ground, unblossomed flowers, bent flowers, foul-smelling flowers, flowers with insects inside, flowers which are damaged, flowers which are destroyed with the hands, or other parts of the body should not be used in the worship of the Lord. Kusuman amalabhetu chauryadanam na dushyati devatardhan tu kusumam asteyam manurabravit. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 24. If due to unavailability, if the flowers are stolen, there are no faults in it. Manu Maharaja says, if the flowers are stolen to worship the Supreme Lord, that is not considered to be theft. Shaka udake kaste tadha mule phalen trune adatta adanam asteyam munu praha prajapati gruhitavyani pushpani devachana vidhau dvijaha naikasmad eva niyatam ananugnapya kevalam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 25 to 26, Kurma Purana. Prajapati Manu says that if somebody does not donate or give, then if flowers, vegetable leaves, water, wood, roots, fruits, and straw is stolen, then it is not called theft. O Brahmanas, if somebody takes all these things without being given them by the owner of a garden, then it should not be made a habit to take every time from one place and person. Aste yad vidhrutam pranama samaye yad vamahaste krutam ichantar jaladhau tam archana vidhau pushpancha tadvajayet bhaktvayat vitapadikam chitiruham cha utpatya yachakrutam yachakramya samahrutam tad akhilam pushpam bhavati asuram chaurya akrustam anukti dustam asuchi sprustam yad aprokshitam yacha aghratam adhombare vinishchitam kritam cha tadvarjayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 29 to 30, quoted from the Kurma Purana. If someone pays obeisances while having flowers in the hands, that flower cannot be used to worship the deities. If the flowers are picked with the left hand, or flowers are washed by dipping them in the water, these flowers should be rejected in the deity worship. If the flowers are picked after breaking the branch of the tree, or uprooting the tree, or climbing upon the tree, they can only be used to worship the demons, not for the demigods or the Supreme Lord. The flowers which are stolen continuously from one place, or the flowers which are taken without permission of the owner, or flowers which are touched by untouchables, ladies during their menstruation period, etc. Flowers unsprinkled with water, externally scented flowers, flowers which are put inside the cloth, which is used on the lower parts of the body, and flowers which are bought from a dirty place should be rejected in the worship of the deities or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Pushpa abhavehi deyani patrānyapi janardhane patra abhave payo deyam tena punyam avapnuyat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 233, Vishnu Dharmottara. If there is a shortage of flowers to worship the Supreme Lord, leaves of the tree can be used. If the leaves are not even available, water should be offered, because by doing so one remains meritorious. Patrani sasugandhini pallavani murduni cha tena punyam avapnoti pushpadana samudbhavam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 36, Vishnu Dharmottara, 3rd canto. The leaves which are used to worship Lord Sri Hari should be fragrant and very soft. If one uses these leaves, he gets the merit of offering flowers to the Lord. Yadgruhe nasti tulasi salagrama silachane smashana sadrusham vidya tadgruham subhavarjitam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 61, Brihanaradi Purana. If someone does not have a tulasi plant in his house to worship Sri Salagram Shila, his house is considered to be like a crematorium and is rewarding inauspiciousness. Therefore, it is said, Tulasim vina na kriyate na puja, snanam na yattat tulasim vina kritam, bhuktam na tadyat tulasim vina kritam, pitam na tadyat tulasim vina kritam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 62 from Brihanaradi Purana. Worship of the Supreme Lord without tulasi is not considered to be worshipping. Bathing of the Supreme Lord without tulasi is not considered to be bathing. Offering food to the Supreme Lord without tulasi is not said to be giving him food. And giving the Lord water and tulasi is not considered to be offering him water. Tulasi rahitam pujam na grunnati sada harihi kastam va sparshayed yatra nachetanam nachetannavato yagnet. Tulasi dalam adaya yonyam devam prapujayet. Brahmaha sahi goghnasya sa eva gurutalpagaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 63 to 64, Vayu Purana. The Supreme Lord Hari does not accept worship of anyone without tulasi. Therefore, if tulasi leaves are not available, then one can use tulasi wood to touch the Supreme Lord's body. If even tulasi wood is not available, if even tulasi wood is not available, one should chant the name of tulasi while worshipping Lord Sri Hari. If somebody worships other demigods with tulasi, they get the sin of killing a brahmana, a cow, and enjoying the wife of his own spiritual master. Therefore, it is said, Tulasi dalasam mishram hared yachedya tatsada. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 65, Garuda Purana, in the matter of making an offering of food to the Lord. Therefore, one should always offer food to the Supreme Lord with tulasi leaves. Krishna Vep Adhava Krishna, Tulasi Krishna Vallabha, Sita Vep Adhava Krishna, Dwadasi Vallabha Harehe. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 71, Vishnu Rahasya. Whether it be blackish or greenish, all tulasis are dear to the Supreme Lord, Vishnu. Both Dwadasi Thidis, whether on the dark fortnight or the light fortnight, are equally dear to Lord Hari. Sarvasham Patrajatinam Tulasi Keshava Priya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 74, Padma Purana, conversation between Yamaraj and a Brahmana. Among all kinds of leaves, tulasi leaves are very dear to Lord Keshava. Yoginam viratau vancha, kaminancha yadharatau, pushpesu apicha sarveshu, tulasyancha tatha harehe. Nirasya malati pushpam, muktva pushpam saroruham, grunnati tulasim suskam, api paryavasthitam harihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 80 to 81, Skanda Puran, conversation between Markandeya and Indrajumna. Just as yogis desire worldly detachment and lusty desires to stop, similarly the Supreme Lord Hari likes tulasi among all kinds of flowers. The Supreme Lord Sri Hari gives up malati, white jasmine flowers, mukta pushpa, a white mangara, and lotus flower, but he accepts even dry, stale tulasi leaves happily. Yatphalam sarva pushpeshu, sarva patreshu narada, tulasi dalamatrena, Prapyate Keshavachya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 84, Skanda Purana. O Narada, whatever merit one receives by offering all kinds of flowers and all kinds of leaves to Lord Sri Keshava, the same merit one can attain just by offering just one tulasi leaf alone to him. Manikanchana pushpani tadha muktamayani cha tulasi patra danasya kalam narhanti to shodashim. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 86, Padma Puran, conversation between Devaduta and Vikundala. By offering flowers equipped with pearls and gold, one does not even achieve 1/16th of merit, which can be achieved by offering just one tulasi leaf to Lord Vishnu. Natasya naraka klesho yorchaye tulasi dalaihi papisto val apapistaha satyam na samshayaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7 to 99, Agastya Samhita. Whether one is a sinful person or a pious person, if he worships Lord Sri Vishnu with tulasi leaves, I personally, truly and repeatedly say that he will never fall into hell to suffer. Aropya tulasim vaishya sampuja taddalair harim vasanti moda manaste yatra devas chaturbhujaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7, 319, Padma Purana. O Vaishya, any person, after planting a tulasi tree and worship the Supreme Lord with leaves from the tree, he will go to the spiritual world and will live with the four-armed Supreme Lord there, happily there. Yochayat Hari Padabjam Tulasi Komala Chadaihi Natasya Punaravrittir Brahmalokat Kadachana. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7, 322, Narade Puran, conversation between Yamaraj and Bhagirath. Any person who worships the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Hari with tulasi leaves and very soft manjaris, flowers, they never return to this world after attaining the Supreme Lord's abode. Yakpunos tulasi patraihi, komalaih manjari yutaihi, pujayet sutrabadhaistu, Krishnam Devaki Nandanam, Yagatir Yoga Yuktanam, Yagatir Yagnashilinam, Yagatir Danashilanam, Yagatis Tirthasevinam, Yagatir Matrubhaktanam, Dwadashi Vedavarjinam, Kurvatam Jagaram Vishnur, Nuchatam Gayatam Phalam, Vaishnavanam tu Bhaktanam, Yat Phalam Vedavadinam, Patatam Vaishnavanam Shastram, Vaishnavebhyasya Yachatam, Phalam etan mahipala labhante na atra samshaya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7, 331, 334. Skanda Puran, conversation between Markandeya and Indrajumna. Any person who worships Lord Sri Hari, the son of Devaki, with a nice garland made out of nice soft manjaris and tulasi leaves strung on a thread, those people receive the result of a person who performs great yogic processes, one who takes a vow to perform many sacrifices, one who gives charity, one who visits the places of pilgrimage, one who serves his own mother properly, one who gives up fasting on Ekadasi, which is overlapped by Dwadasi, one who remains awake overnight to please the Supreme Lord Vishnu and dances at night, one who serves a devotee of Lord Vishnu, one who studies Vaishnava scriptures, one who gives charity to a Vaishnava. Without a doubt, such a person receives all these results. Manjaribhi sapatrabhir malabhischapi keshava tulasya kartike prito dadati padamavyayam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7, 340, Padma Puran, Kartika Mahachya. Any person who offers a garland made out of tulasi leaves and manjaris to Lord Sri Kesava during the month of Kartik, he gives such a person his eternal abode. Asnatva tulasim chitva yapujam kurute naraha soparadhi bhavet satyam tat sarvam nishphalam bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:346 Vayu Purana. Any person who tries to pick tulasi leaves to worship Lord Hari without first taking bath, they are certainly offenders, and whatever good activities they do will remain fruitless. Tulasi Amrita Janmasi Sadatvam Keshava Priya Keshavarthe Vichinvami Varada Bhavasobhane. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:347 Skanda Purana. मोक्षैक हेतो धरणी प्रशस्ते विष्णु समस्तस्य गुरो प्रियेति आराधनार्थं वरमंजरीकं लुनामि पत्रं तुलसी क्षमस्व इति उक्त्वा तुलसीं नत्वा चित्वा दक्षिणपाणिना पत्राणि एकैकशो न्यस्येत् सत्पात्रे मंजरीर अपि. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:349-350 Garuda Purana. O Tulasi Devi, you are the only solace for liberation. There is nothing equal to or superior to you. You are the spiritual leader for everyone, and you are very dear to the Supreme Lord. Therefore, I pick your leaves and the best of flowers, manjaris, to worship Him. Please forgive me. Nachinjat Tulasim Vipra Dvadashyam Vaishnava Kvachit. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:354 Vishnu Dharmottara. O Brahmanas, a Vaishnava never picks tulasi leaves on Dwadasi, the day after Ekadasi. Bhanuvaram vina durvam tulasim dwadashim vina jivitasya avinashaya navichinvita dharmavid. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:355 Garuda Purana. A scripturally learned person, if he does not want to decrease his duration of life, he should not pick grass for worshipping and tulasi leaves on the Dwadasi day. Dwadashyam tulasi patram dhatri patrasya kartike lunati sanaro gachet nirayan ati garhitam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 7:356 Padma Purana. Conversation between Krishna and Satyabhama. Any person on Dwadasi day after Ekadashi, in the Kartik month, if he picks tulasi leaves or amalaki leaves, he falls into a grievously hellish planet to suffer. Yo dadati harer dhupam tulasi kasta vanhina shatakratu samam punyam goitam labhate phalam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:26. Any person who offers dhupa, incense, powder with the fire created of tulasi wood to Lord Hari, he achieves the result of donating 10,000 cows and performing 100 great sacrifices. Napado vipadastasya bhavanti khaludehinaha harer datta avasheshena dhupayed yas tanum sada na asaukyam na bhayam dukkham na abhijam naiva rogajam yah sevayet dhupasesham vishnor adbhuta karmanaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:32-33 Padma Puran. Conversation between Gautama and Ambarish. Any person who, after offering dhupa to Lord Sri Vishnu and always takes the remnants on his head, I personally confirm that he will never receive any disturbances and problems in his life. One who offers dhupa to Lord Sri Vishnu, who performs transcendental activities, to that person there is no scarcity of ecstasy. He does not fear anything nor experience any mental disturbance. Grutena deepo datavyo rajan tailena va punaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:41 Bhavishya Uttara Purana. O king, one should offer ghee lamp to the Supreme Lord, made out of ghee or oil. Havisa Prathamah Kalpo Dvitiyascha Aushadho Rasaihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 842 Mahabharata. The best lamp offered to the Lord is made out of ghee. If one is unable to afford this, then it is acceptable to use medicated oils like sesame seed oil, mustard seed oil, or sunflower oil. Vritena va atak tailena deepam prajvalayet naraha Vishnave vidhivat bhaktya tasya punya phalam srinu vihaya papam sakalam sahasra aditya saprabhaha jyotishmata vimanena vishnuloke mahiyate. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:52-53 Nrsimhapuram. A person who offers a burning ghee lamp, according to the Vedic literatures, to Lord Sri Vishnu, please listen to the merit he acquires. He becomes free from all kinds of sins and achieve brightness like that of 1,000 suns, and at last they ride upon a transcendental plane and with full respect attain the abode of Lord Vishnu. Prasanga alikhyate traiva Srimad Bhagavat Alaye Deepadanasya Mahatmyam Kartiki Yancha Tadvina. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 860 Ramarchana Chandrika. Offering a ghee lamp in the month of Kartik in the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, their merits cannot be explained. Ekadasyamcha dvadasyam Pratipakshantu yo naraha Deepam dadati Krishnaya tasya punya phalam shrunu Suvarna mani muktadhyam Manognam atisundaram Deepamalakulam divyam Vimanam adhirohati. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 866-67 Vishnu Dharmottara. Any person who regularly on all fortnight of Ekadasi and Dwadasi days offers a ghee lamp to Lord Sri Vishnu, please listen to this merit. That person rides on a transcendental plane nicely decorated with gold, diamonds, and pearls and covered with bright lamps and goes to the supreme abode of the Lord. Pradida Stapitas Tatra Suratartham Dvijottama Tenapi Mama Dushkarma Nishesham Chayam Agatam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 872 Brahmanarave Purana about Yajna Dhvaja's previous life. O best of Brahmanas, previously due to the desire of population, I lit one lamp in the temple of Lord Hari. By doing so, all of my sins were destroyed. In this regard, Sri Sanatana Goswami gives his commentary, Digdarshini commentary on this verse, stating, one should offer a ghee lamp in the temple of the Supreme Personality of Godhead in order to please him. But in this verse, it is said that even if a ghee lamp is offered in the temple of the Supreme Lord, even to perform some sinful activity as was described in this verse, this sinful person found the temple of Lord Vishnu empty and silent. And because all the activities of worship had been completed that day, therefore, the Lord accepted his lamp. The history goes like this. The king Yagnadhaja was in his previous life a low-born dog-eater and was engaged in greatly grievous sinful activities. Once, just to enjoy another's wife, he entered into a temple where all of the days of puja was completed. There he lit a lamp and spent the whole night engaging in sinful activities. Then, when the gods found him engaging in such activities, they killed him there. And thus he attained Brahmaloka, where he enjoyed for a long time. After some time, by his own free will, he came to earth and became a devotee king, a great devotee to the Supreme Lord. Sonam Vadarakam Vastram Jinam Malinam Evacha Upabhuktam Navavadyat Vartika Artham Kadachana Swayam anyena va dattam deepam na sri haret nirvapayen nahimsacha subham icchan kadachana. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 887-88. One should not offer a lamp to the Lord whose wick made of red color, old, dirty, or used cotton cloth. Any person who wants benefit in his life should never remove or take away the lamp to some place or remove the oil from the lamp which is offered by himself or somebody else to Lord Sri Hari. Yak kuryat himsanam tena karmana pushpitekshanaha deepaharta bhavet andha kano nirvana krud bhavet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 890 Vishnu Dharmottara Canto 1. Any person, if he removes oil, etc., from the lamp, he gets eye diseases in his next life. Any person who steals or takes away the lamp becomes blind. Any person who extinguishes the lamp offered to the Lord becomes a one-eyed person. Deepa vrukshasya kartavyas tejasadhyaisya bhairava vruksheshu deepa datavyo natu bhumau kadachana. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 895 Kalika Purana. O Bhairava, one should properly make a lamp stand and offer a lamp upon it. One should never offer a lamp and put it on the ground. Naivedya patram mokshami keshavasya mahatmanaha hairanyam rajatam kamram kancham mrunmayevacha halasham padmapatrancha patram vishnu atipriyam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:115 Skanda Purana. Conversation between Lord Brahma and Narada Muni. Brahma says to Narada, I shall describe to you about the utensils for offering food to Lord Sri Keshava. They are golden, silver, copper, bell metal, clay, and palashapatra and lotus leaf. Utensils made out of these elements are very dear to Lord Sri Vishnu. Nanavidha annapanaischa Bhakshanajai manoharaihi naivedyam kalpayed vishnos tad abhavecha payasam kevalam ghruta-yuktam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:121 Vaidhayana Smriti. One should offer to Lord Sri Vishnu different kinds of food, grains, beverages, prepared in the best way possible. If one is unable to acquire all of this, then one should offer him sweet rice, which is mixed with ghee. For food without ghee is said to be eaten by demons. Nabhaksham naivedyarthe bhaksheshu api ajamahishi kshiram panchanaka matsyasya. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:152 Harita Smriti. Uneatable food should not be offered to the Lord, and among those foods which are eatable, milk from the goat, and milk from the buffalo, and milk from animals which have 5 nails, like tigers, lions, and elephants, etc., and fish should not be offered to the Lord. Mahishansya vikamcha, mahishansya vikamsya ajam, ayagniyam udahrutam, mahisham varjayen makhyam, kshiram dadhi grutam yadi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8:155 Varaha Purana. Ghee made from sheep and goats is unusable in the worship of the Lord. If someone offers me the Lord yogurt, milk, or ghee, one should not offer me these items made from buffalo, sheep, or goats. Prantakam jalishakam kusumba smantakam tadha palandu lasunam suklam niryasan chaiva varjayet grujanam kinshukan chaiva kukundancha tadhaivacha udambharam alvavuncha udambharam alavuncha Jagdva Patati Vaidvijaha. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 158, 159, Kurma Puran. One should not eat eggplant, banana leaves, sunflower leaves, and asmantaka leaves, onions, garlics. One should not eat sour gruel, a thin watery porridge, or the juice of the tree. One should also give up turnips and beetroots, carrots, insuka, forest figs, and white pumpkin. If the twice-born persons eat these things, they all become fallen. Yo bhakshati vruntakam tasya durataro harihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 161, Skanda Puran. Anyone who eats eggplants, Lord Sri Hari always stays a far distance from him. Vartankum vurhatim chaiva dagdham annam masurakam yasya udare pravarteta sasya durataro harihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 162. Beetroot, eggplant, boiled grains, rice, masoor, pink dal. Whoever has these foods in his stomach, Lord Sri Hari remains a long distance from him. Yatra majjam tatha mamsam tatha vruntaka molake nivedayan naiva tatra harer aikantiki ratihi. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 164, quoted from Yamala. Any food which is mixed with wine, meat, eggplant, and beetroot, if it is offered by someone to the Lord, he cannot receive unalloyed devotion to Lord Janardhana. Yat kinchidalpam naivedyam bhakta bhakti rasaplutam prati bhojayati Sri Shasta Datrun Sasukham Drutam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 185, Hari-bhakti Suddhodaya. The Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes very satisfied, even if very minute food is offered to him with a devotee with full devotion, and at once he gives full happiness to the offerer. Tato vichitrair lalitaih karti karitair vasvayam krutaihi gitair vajyascha vadyaischa nrityaischa Sri Krishnam paritoshayet. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 251, Vamana Puran. Prahlad speaks to Bali. Prahlad speaks to Bali. Thereafter, either by himself or with others, one should compose and sing nice songs in ecstasy and satisfy Lord Sri Krishna. Nrityantam Vaishnavam Harshad Asino Yastu Pasyati Khanjo Bhavati Rajendra Soyam Janmani Janmani. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 253. O greatest king, if anyone sees a Vaishnava dancing in ecstasy and goes on sitting and dancing, he becomes crippled after birth. Visrujya lajjam yodhite gayate nuchyate picha kulakoti samayukto labhate mamakam padam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 262, Linga Puran, spoken by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Any person giving up his shame and sings and dances and studies Vedic literatures near me, he along with his 10 million ancestors will live in my abode. Vishnor Gitancha Nuchancha Natanamcha Viseshataha Brahman Brahmana Jatinam Kartavyam Nitya Karmavat. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 264, Narada Puran. Daily a Brahmana should certainly sing and dance and pray to the Supreme Lord Vishnu to please him. Keshavagre Nritya Geetam na Karoti Harer Dine Vanhina Kimna Dagdho Saugataha Kimna Rasatalam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8, 267. Any person on the day of Lord Hari, both Ekadashis, who does not dance and sing in front of Lord Sri Keshava, do you think that he does not burn himself in the material fire? Or do you think that he does not go to the lowest planetary system named Patal Loka? Yad Ananda Kalam Yadananda Kalam Gayan Bhakta Punya Asru Varshati Tat Sarva Tirtha Salila Snanam Swamala Sothanam. Hari-bhakti-vilāsa 8-73, Hari-bhakti Subhodaya. Devotees, while singing for the Supreme Lord with a choked throat, with hair standing on end, or with tears from their eyes like rain, they burn their acquired sins and achieve the merit of bathing in all the places of pilgrimage. So we are going to stop here on page number 85. Thank you for joining in today's reading of Sri Sanatana Goswami's Hari-bhakti-vilāsa Part 3. We hope that you enjoy this reading, and we also hope that you will be able to join us in the next part, Part 4. So again, we stop here at page number 85. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.